Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Darvanalee Design Studio, and today we are here for my weekly Stitch with me. We're working on Snow Village, so let's get started. Well, good morning. Good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I do a little bit of stitching. Hopefully, sorry, I just bumped the frame then. Hopefully you've got some stitching out as well and you are joining me this morning. If you're new here, this is my weekly Stitch with me. Right now we are working on Snow Village and we're working on this until we complete it. So this has been going for a little while. Been a little bit slack during the couple of months there, but we are charging ahead right now. We're almost finished this row, and then it means that we will be rolling the scroll bar and we'll be good to go into the last row. And as you can see, if you've been here for a couple of months now, these little blocks go pretty darn quick. So today we're going to be working on the snow. So you can see I've already got the first leg of the cross down, so I'm going to continue on doing the crosses and get that finished. Hopefully over the weekend I can get some more stitches into this, and that will keep us going. Every time I've gone to stitch on it this week, I have been interrupted either by phone calls or got to go and do something, or I've got to help Red with something. So I'm hoping that all of my distractions and interruptions and everything will be sorted out and I won't get disturbed. So I'm planning to do this today, and then hopefully I can do the rest of the stuff that I need to do, which is around this bit here. We've got a little bit along the house, we've got some across the top here, we've got the window to do and the door, and then we've also got the holly down the, well, not holly, the branches down the bottom. Holly branches, I don't know what they are, but anyway, I'm going to go with holly because I like the sound of that. So I'm just loading up my needle right now. Now I was sitting down on the couch, but the quality of the camera with the lights that I'm using down there, and because it's a little bit darker and everything down there, it's just not happening. So I've come back to my original spot. It may mean that my videos may be slightly shorter because the chair that I'm sitting in and the angle that I'm at is not great. So I'm going to play around with the angles and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we'll see how we go. But today it's looking pretty good. It's not looking washed out, so you can see it a little bit better. When I'm down on the couch, it's really washed out. As much as I'd love to sit down there, it's just not looking real good, and I'm just not liking the quality. It actually looks like I'm recording on a really poor quality camera, which I'm not. So yeah, so I just thought, you know what, I'll just go back to my original position. We'll make those videos maybe slightly smaller. We'll see how we go. But this is Snow Boutique that we're working on today. As I said, I'm just going to be doing the lower part of the snow down here. So now let me just think, where am I going to put my waist knot? I think I'll put it up here and go underneath that way it'll be covered for sure. So basically, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for stopping by. I've had quite a number of new commenters and subscribers in the last week, so I just like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody. I don't always check my new subscribers list and all that sort of stuff, but I was in that section of YouTube yesterday and noticed that, oh wow, I've had a few new subscribers and a whole heap of comments that I didn't even get a notification for. So I do apologize if I haven't commented on your video. Let me just straighten this up a little bit. It's looking a little bit crooked there. That's going to make you feel a little bit skewy all day otherwise. So let me just bring that a bit there. Hopefully I haven't made you too ill by moving that around. But as I was saying, yes, we've had quite a number of new subscribers in the last week, so that has been exciting, and they've also been introducing themselves, which is also exciting too. Yeah, so I'd just like to take this opportunity to say welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you also taking the time to comment on any of my videos as well. I really do appreciate all of that. I feel definitely feeling the love on my last video, which was the little sewing notions tray. So I'll just bring this up so you can have a look. It's probably a little bit close, but I've got a few of these now that I've made from drawers because I'm trying to get organized. So I've got a lot of stuff on my benches, and I thought that maybe I could make several, and maybe even some deeper ones, and have them on the shelves that I was talking about getting on the wall as well, which I haven't made any inroads in that this week, but that is because I've been super busy, just getting a lot of paperwork and stuff done. You know, it's that crazy time of year where we've got to sort out tax and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, a lot of that happens in the first couple of weeks of June. We've still got a little way to go, but I had to get, you know, different paperwork together, make sure that I've ticked all the boxes, and you know, I like to take my time and not rush it in the last week or wait until completely. So the things that until the tax year is completely over. So the things that I can get together, I've got together. Then it's just a point of waiting for a couple of things to come in and emailing them or sending them over to the accountant. Because I can tell you now, I sure as heck do not do the accounts. I do not have the headspace to do that. I mean, I could do it if I want to, but I'd just rather not. I would just rather hang out with you guys and do some crafting and all that sort of stuff, and leave that to the professionals. So yeah. So I've got a few extra things to get together for him. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that I've got to download at my end and export the files over and all that sort of stuff. So it's easier for me to start doing it at the beginning of June, because I can get, you know, the 11 months prior to my, like for my PayPal and bank statements and all that sort of stuff. Make sure that I've got them all there. Like I have a spot where they all go and whatnot, but just making sure that everyone is actually there, that I put any notifications on there that I need to put on. So it's a lot of going through and double checking transactions across the PayPal and the bank account, because I use my PayPal a lot for my business expenses. You know, to purchase supplies and all that sort of stuff, because it's just easier. And yeah, so basically then I have to, you know, chase up stuff from YouTube and download all those sort of things, and it's just easier for me to start at the beginning of June. I mean, I could do it at the end of each month, but there's no point. It's just sitting here, so I just leave it all as it's digital, and then at the end I just download all the files. And yeah, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan, but that's why I start at the beginning of June. So that gives me any opportunity if there's an issue, like you know, no internet or something like that. It's not a stress. I'm not, you know, having an accountant breathing down my throat going, hey, you need to get this done. And I know I've got till October to get it done, but we like to get it all cleared away very early. And our accountant is great at accommodating for that because Brendan really struggles knowing that there possibly could be a debt. You know, he doesn't like to have debt or anything like that, and he likes to just pay everything in lump sums. So yeah, it works for him, and I'm happy to work with that, because it means that I keep on top of it, and then it's not strenuous for me as well. So yeah, so what has happened this week? All right, so it's been a pretty slow week as far as going out of the house or anything like that. I normally do a vlog for my Patreons, a weekly vlog of behind the scenes. This week I don't have anything that we didn't go out or anything like that. So basically it'll just probably be a whip update, and that sometimes happens, especially in winter. I'm not the most social person in winter. I've got this tiny knot that I can't get out, so I'm going to try and use as much as the floss as I can. Yeah, I'm a bit of a hibernator in winter, so I don't tend to go out too much, and you know, out into the elements or anything like that. I tend to take vitamin D in winter as well, because I really don't like going outside. Brennan was teasing me last night. We went out, he had a huge couple of days, like he was away for 3 days because he had to go down to out past St George here in Queensland for a job. There's a couple of guys that are all in the same business, and friend of ours basically had a job out there and needed help, so Brennan was with him, truck and trailer. And yeah, so he pretty much done he he stayed over at the workshop on Sunday night because he went down to Brisbane on Monday. Then Tuesday morning got up, went out to out to St George, and basically he didn't get home until Wednesday morning, but he went straight to the workshop because he had guys coming up from Brisbane to get some cars that they had purchased and whatnot, just scrap cars that they got, and and so basically he just wanted them out of the yard, so he was running on a couple of hours sleep, and so it wasn't last night, it was Wednesday night he come home. So Wednesday night he come home, and he's been lately just coming in and cooking and all the rest of it. I said, oh, do you want me to cook dinner? He goes, no, I just feel like going and get Red Rooster and having that. And he goes, do you want something? I'm like, no, I'm good. I had a late lunch. I had some rice and broccoli and chicken, because Neroli sometimes brings KFC chicken tenders home for me, and I just use them for over a couple of weeks or whatever. If there's a few, I just freeze them, and then I just chop them up and throw them in salads and with a bit of rice or something along those lines. So anyway, I did that, and yesterday, so I had a pretty late lunch, and I said, nah, I couldn't be bothered. So I went out with him, and so I went out with him to Red Rooster and all the rest of it. And when we were there, and when I'm just trying to think, was it Wednesday night? Yeah, it was Wednesday night. And anyway, while we were there, I had a chuckle to myself, and we pulled up at the booth, right? And Brendan goes, oh, I'll have a quarter chicken and chips. And that's like with a drink. And that's, I think, like $10 or something. All right. And it's, it's relatively fresh. Red Rooster's like one of your freshest, it's like deep fried, it's rotisserie chicken, all that sort of stuff, right? So anyway, he's got that, and she goes, oh, we don't have, oh no, sorry. He goes, I'll grab a half, because for $2 more. So at first he was going to get a quarter chicken and chips, right? Which was, I think it was $10.95, and then so for $3 more you can get half a chicken and chips and a drink for $3 more. And he goes, I'll get the half a chicken, and then you can have the rest, like I'll have a little bit tonight, and then the rest will be in the fridge for tomorrow for you for lunch. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be cool. I'll do that, because I wasn't going to eat last night. I was a little bit peckish a bit later on, so I just had an English muffin and a cup of tea, and that was enough for me. And so anyway, sitting there, and the chick at the thing goes, oh, we don't have any halves, we've only got 2 quarters. And I looked at Brendan and went, started screwing up my nose and trying not to laugh because she was on the speaker. And he goes, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, he didn't say, well, that will make a half or anything like that. I goes, yeah, that's fine. And she goes, oh, but we've only got 2 quarters. And he's going, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, she finally got the message that it was okay, that we will take the 2 quarters as the half, because 2 quarters make a half. I'm sitting there in the car, absolutely wet, looking out the window, just wetting myself, because the girl that took the order was the girl that we had to pay. So I didn't want her to see that I was laughing at her, and I couldn't help it. Like, come on. 2 quarters make a half. It's not that bad. Like, life is not that bad that you can't work that out. Anyway, anyway, the reason that Brendan ended up going for that, he goes, because I know that he says, I'll get that, because then you've got some lunch for tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, cool, no worries. And he goes, seeing you don't like leaving the house. I'm like, isn't that a good thing? I'm not leaving the house means I'm not spending money. Anyway, he goes, yeah, right, you're not spending money. He goes, you've got online shopping, you don't have to leave the house. And I'm like, yeah, right, touche. Anyway, we were having a bit of a chuckle about that, and then we left. Once we left, I'm like, oh my god, 2 quarters make a half. How hard is that? And he goes, that's bad. Like, that's shocking. Like, how can she work in somewhere like that and not know that? And I'm like, that is pretty bad. And I said, I'll play devil's advocate here. Maybe she got hung up on it because it wasn't half a chicken. Because if you get half a chicken, you get a leg, a breast, and a wing. Whereas if you get 2/4, you get a wing or a leg. And that it turned out that we got a leg and like a quarter of a breast in one quarter, and the other quarter was a breast and the wing. So technically it was just a half a chicken cut in half, right, at the end of the day. Anyway. Oh, I know I can't do math sometimes. I suck at math, and I'll admit that freely, but I do know that 2/4 make a half. And yeah, and so yeah, I couldn't help myself. I was in fits of laughter, and he's mumbling because they shut the window when you pay, and he's mumbling so she couldn't hear. Can you freaking shut up? Stop laughing. You're gonna make me crack up. And I'm like Muttley over at the window doing that snicker, that wheezy snicker. Not that I'm wheezy, but that's what it sounded like. And he's just like, shut up. But yeah, so that gave us a good giggle. And he was really tired too. Like, there was such a long wait to get there. And he goes, I'm so tired that I don't even care that I'm sitting in line to wait for a quarter chicken and chips. He goes, it would have been quicker to go to Woolies and get a whole chicken. And I said, well, for $13, you could have got a whole chicken, a bag of chips, and a bottle of Coke. Maybe $15, $16. I don't know the last time I bought that. But, yeah. I had a bit of a chuckle to myself. I've actually got to go down to Woolies today and get a barbecue chicken for Neroli. She asked me to grab her one, so she's got stuff here. Yes. It was so funny. It was quite entertaining while, sitting there waiting for food and all the rest of it. And can you hear my washing machine? You probably can't. My whole house is vibrating. Because I'm on a house that's risen, it's on stilts, like not large stilts. It's still close to the ground, like it's not a 2-story place or anything, but I'm on little stumps is the word I'm looking for. The whole house shakes like nothing else when I do the washing. I try to work around it, but yeah. So that was my little giggle for this week. That was quite an indication of the education system. Maybe she was having a bad night, and as I said, maybe she got hung up on it because we asked for half a chicken and they're meant to give half a chicken, and she wasn't even thinking about what she was saying, and all the rest of it. And like, but as Brendan said, he goes, that works even better. He goes, I don't have to touch your food now. No worries, Sheldon. Oh dear me. I do often call him that because, oh my goodness, he is Sheldon at times. That he comes out and says things, and I just look at him and go, really? But anyway, so he's pretty happy this week. He's managed to clear up some more space and get a few storage systems in place over at his workshop and whatnot, because he's trying to get a little bit more organized over there. He's been pretty consistent. He's been putting out a video a week, which has been good. He's got out of that mindset that he's got to put up a video every single day, and that was causing him stress. And I said, there is no reason for you to put up a video every single day if it is causing you stress. And he goes, but you're able to do it. I'm like, dude, I don't have my phone ringing every 2 seconds. Like, our conversation will be, hi hun, how you going? Yeah, good, how are you? Hang on, I'll call you back. Rings me back, hey hun, what's happening? And he'll continue the conversation. Might get a minute in, another call, I'll call you back. And that is our conversation, and that might happen for 3 hours. So now what I do is I say to him, look, I'm going to be filming for the next 3 hours, and that I will call you when I am finished. That way he's not interrupting me and all the rest of it. So yeah, that makes it a bit easier, and I can get stuff done, because most of my interruptions are from Brendan and not from anybody else. But yeah, so he's getting a lot of stuff organized over there and all that sort of hoo-ha, and so he's pretty pleased with himself, getting it all organized and getting a video out each week. And as I said to him, like, I'm able to, like, if I know that I've got a hectic week, I can do a lot of like I can do a lot of filming, just have the camera going and do a voiceover. Obviously I'm not doing that right now, but if push comes to shove, I know that I can, on a Monday, I can film an entire week's worth of videos, and you know, and then I can go about my business doing my other stuff. Do I do that? No, because it is a lot to do in one day. So I do spread most of my filming out over 2 days. Stitch with me's and slow stitching Saturdays generally get filmed at the end of the week. Sometimes we miss a week, a day or whatever, because, you know, I'm busy and whatnot. Last week I was supposed to film on Friday while I was doing reading sprints and productivity sprints over on BookTube, and I just never got to it. And so yeah, I just wasn't up for for filming and whatnot after I'd finished. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to miss a week. It is okay to miss a week. It is okay to take a day and whatnot. So yeah, so I basically took a day and didn't film. Oh, my heater sounds like it's struggling a bit over there. It is very cold here today. Sounds like a little train. I've got an old style reverse cycle air conditioning unit there. It's enough to keep it cool out here, and it's only in summer, and that's the main reason that I have it. And I don't always have the big heater on during the day, but today it is still really cold. I think last time I checked it was like still 10 degrees or so, 11 degrees or something, I think it was. So yeah, a little bit chilly. But in summer it keeps the long arm machine cool, because where it sits it blows towards it, and so it keeps my long arm machine cool and the Cubot cool and all of that sort of stuff. So because what happens is it gets too hot, it'll just shut down, and if you're mid quilting, yeah, that's not great. Because what will happen is it could stop stitching, or well, it doesn't actually stop stitching, it'll take off like a rocket, and then I've got to unpick all that. Yeah, and I'm not up for that. So in summer I tend to get up, because it gets quite warm here where I live, and so in summer I tend to get up a lot earlier, and so most of my work is done on the long arm by the time I normally start work at 9:30, and then yeah, whereas in winter I can start a little bit later, work a little bit later. In summer I start a little bit earlier and work and finish a little bit earlier. I'll just reverse it around, and that's the beauty of working from home, I guess. I've got that option, because I don't only just do YouTube, I also do long arm quilting for those that are new here, and I also run sewing retreats as well, and cross stitch retreats. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and I'm thinking that I might actually do a diamond painting retreat. What do you reckon? Or maybe do a combination of cross stitch and diamond painting on that. So yeah, it's a thought at this moment. I think it'll be a lot of fun, all hanging out together doing diamond painting. Don't have to worry about counting and making mistakes, because we know Nicole can't count. So what else has been going on? Oh, Savannah has a YouTube channel now called Savannah Vlogs. I'll leave the link down below. You can go and check that out. She's just vlogging a little bit of her life, what she does and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, she's sort of, you know, I think she's a little bit lost at the moment. She doesn't have a job, and I mean, the girl worked for the last 3 years of her school career. She went to school and basically come home and worked most afternoons. So yeah, so I think she's feeling a little bit lost at the moment. She's just struggling to find work. There's also been a couple of incidences where she's gone for a job, they're happy to hire her, but then as soon as they find out that she's studying teaching because of placements, they're not going to have someone for 5 weeks, and they can't afford to do that. So I can understand that. And it's not discrimination or anything like that. They've got a business to run, like, and they're making a business choice. Like, it's, yeah, nothing against her. It's just that, yeah, she's not going to be available, and that can be a couple of times, apparently. I don't even begin to fully understand how the placement works. I thought that, you know, you'd be at uni and learning as much as you can, and then maybe in your second or third year they'll start placing you, because I can't imagine sticking a, like, I know that she won't be teaching anybody, she'll do observing for them for the first couple of ones, but still she's away, like, and it's hard enough to get, like, I know with my husband, and even with me, it's hard enough to find someone to work for you, let alone find someone and then they're not going to be there because of whatever reason, you know, for extended amount of times, because I think she's actually got a 5-week placement coming up. So yeah, that's going to make it hard for her. But we'll get through it, I am sure. What I did then, I just started stitching on a different spot and skipped a couple of stitches, and it went down to where I was supposed to go, and like, yeah, that's going to look fabulous. I'm not going to unpick it though, like, still made the crosses. Other than that, nothing really has been going on. Nerolee's doing really well. She's settled into a job really good as well, so that's good. Lots of coffee today. I'll just drop my needle where to go. There it is. Yeah, so she's settled into her job really well, which is good. She's been paid for the first time, so she was happy with her pay. Nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure, considering how much she's worked. That's, yeah, pretty good money for a 16-year-old. Almost 17. She's been working on her hours as well, you know, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there for her license. Not much you can do about that. But, you know, it all adds up. As I said to her, you know, like, you know, if you get ready half an hour early, we drive for 20 minutes, you know, 3 days a week, there's another hour we've added up, you know, and then you've got weekends where we go for long drives and all the rest of it. So I haven't gone with her the last time. She went with Brendan, so I haven't done any long drives with her, but I've got to go down to Brisbane, and hopefully she'll be able to, yeah. Alright, well, I am about to end my thread and load it up again, but just one other thing that's happening this week is I am actually going to be on the Guy Who Sews channel with Sean. If you're here in Australia, his live stream starts at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. That's normally when I am tucked up in bed reading, but I said yes, I would do it, and yeah, so he is he goes live at 8 a.m. In the US where he is. I will leave a link up down to his channel, you can go and suss that out. Yeah, but I'm going to be on there. I'm going to hang out with him and have brekkie with him, although mine will be a midnight snack. Almost midnight snack. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's been in the works for a little while, and yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. What else is going to be happening in the coming week? I have Slow Stitching Saturday is going up tomorrow, so that'll be good. I'm starting a new piece, a sashiko piece. It's not one that's going to be going into the quilt, but it is a sashiko piece nonetheless. So I'm going to end that thread just there, rethread this up. Yeah, so basically, yeah, just going to be plodding along doing the things and all that sort of stuff. As you're watching this, I'm over on my booktube channel today doing an 8-hour live stream. That is a reading and productivity sprint. I generally sit on there and I do some crafting, I do a bit of reading, I do a bit of this, I do a bit of that around the house. I do, you know, anything that I haven't got to during the week, I finalize all that. Sometimes I might do a little bit of designing, all that sort of stuff, which I generally don't show anyway, so you wouldn't know that. But yeah, I use it to listen to audiobooks and get a lot of productivity done as well. So come out over and hang out with me. I will link that all up down below, and yeah, get stuff done. A lot of people come over and use it to get some stitching done for challenges, or they might use it for cleaning up their sewing room or getting sewing done. And basically we just hyper focus for 45 minutes, and then we come back to our computers, laptops or phones, and have a bit of a chit chat for 15 minutes. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, just depends how chatty everybody is in the comments. We generally don't go too long. Like the first chatty bit when I log on usually goes anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, but then we get stuck into our sprints. And yeah, and basically we try and do 15, 30, 45, and that way we get lots of stuff done. Now I have been super productive in the last couple of sprints, because this month I'm actually doing sprints Monday and Fridays. So far our Monday ones have been about 6 hours, 5.5 to 6 hours. Our Friday ones are 8-hour sprints. That is what I do on that particular day, and as I said, I get a lot of stuff done, and I've got lists of everything that I've got to get done, you know, like send out emails, contact designers, respond to people that are wanting me to review stuff on the channel and all that sort of stuff, and apologizing, saying no, I don't really want to do that. I used to do pattern reviews and stuff on that. I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, Pattern Review Weekly or something it was called, and they were patterns that I used to buy myself and review, like make them and then review them, so people knew what they were getting. I haven't done that for a while because I haven't really been buying many patterns and stuff like that. And then there was also book reviews that I was doing, like you know, crafty books and what you got in it, and you know, was it value for money and all that sort of stuff. But now I just get inundated with messages about like getting sponsorship from companies that I don't know, and I've never shopped at and all that sort of stuff. And at this point in time, my main concern is getting Savannah through university and being there to support her. So I can't afford to really buy stuff from a company that I may or may not get, or it may or may not be good quality, and then just end up with essentially may or may not end up with crap in my sewing room. So I spoke to my husband about it, and he said, look, unless it's someone like, you know, Netflix or even Fuji Water, or you know, like stuff that I use, he goes, just decline. He goes, just thanks but no thanks, not at this time. You know, and then there's the whole rigmarole of trying to work out what they're going to pay you and all that sort of stuff. And then if you say yes to something and then you're not going to get paid a fair amount, then, you know, you've wasted a lot of time. And then I've got people that's like, they're unsolicited mail as well. Like I had one the other day. Okay, this is how it started. Oh, we've looked at your YouTube channel and we think that you'll be a really good fit for tech, like it was some sort of technical thing, software. And I'm like, I'm a craft channel, and I went and had a look at the software. I have no idea what it was, because one, I'm not a techie person, and two, I'm not a tech channel. You'd be better off contacting someone who is a tech channel instead of just blanket emailing people. And so like something, I just like, I don't even respond to those ones, because it's evidently you have not been to my channel. And it's even funnier when, like, because I've got Down the Rabbit Hole channel, and there's not a lot of stuff on there because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that channel at this point. I'm thinking that it'll be an educational thing, maybe some stitch alongs and stuff like that, but I'm not looking at that until next year. And anyway, you know, like there's 120 subscribers over there, which is absolutely fabulous. And I do post in the community tab and stuff like that occasionally, usually with announcements, like I was letting everybody know over there that, you know, we had a Patreon, and that's how it'd be good to get onto that, because then, you know, you get that delivered to your inbox when it comes out, and all that sort of stuff. And excuse me. And yeah, so I'm trying to, you know, like, you sent me an email saying that it would be a good fit. One, there's no videos have gone up in over 2 years or 18 months, and you're telling me it's going to be a good fit? I don't think so. I don't even think you've been to that channel. You know. And so, yeah, so I get a little bit frustrated, but as, you know, but then, you know, you watch videos where people say that they've, you know, been contacted by people and all that sort of stuff, and they're just phishing emails and stuff like that. So that's a little bit scary too. Like, there was a guy that I was watching, I can't think of his name, it popped up in my recommended, because he was contacted by, oh, who was it? It was someone he dealt with before, I think he said. And the email looked really legit and all that sort of stuff. And he clicked on it, opened it up, and within minutes of him opening it up, he basically, his channel got hijacked, and he lost his channel, and he had something like he has a fair chunk of change of people on there and all the rest of it. And so it was quite interesting to hear how it happened. Like, he just wasn't paying attention, it looked legit, and he clicked on the link, and it on the computer, and basically what happened was it downloaded a Trojan, or whatever you call it, where it can access your YouTube and all the rest of it. And like he was just saying, you know, you need to have the double factor on there and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, that's really good to know. Like, for a small channel, that would be, like, for a large channel, like any channel, that would be devastating, the amount of work that you put into it and all that sort of stuff. And then, you know, there's also like yeah, so you get a lot of those videos and stuff like that. There've been some craft ones and whatnot, but I have heard not great things about how they start to carry on. Once you agree to review something, then they start expecting more and more from you for less and less. So they sort of, you know, promise you the world to get the foot in the door and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I'm a little bit skeptical. We'll go with skeptical instead of flat out paranoid. I'm a little bit skeptical about doing reviews and stuff like that. I would much rather purchase something, use it out of my own pocket, and then give an honest review. And then if that company contacted me, yeah, sure, not a problem. I can work with you because I've tried your products, I've used them for quite some time, they've never failed me, yada yada yada. You know, like, I'm going to be giving an honest review. So there's that. And so yeah, so there's a lot of time taken up, and then with answering responding to those emails. I do actually just now do a copy and paste. I used to actually type out each email. What a time waster. I did that for probably about 6 months because there wasn't many coming through. But then when they started to get more and more regular, I'm like, this is just wasting so much time. So I have a file on my phone, because sometimes a lot of time I check my emails on my phone. So I have a file, like, I'll go through and check who it's from and all the rest of it, and if I've declined them before, I don't even open the email. And then there's other ones that just look dodgy because they can't even spell, so I just delete them straight away. Can't even spell the subject line right. So I mean, I know I'm no scholar when it comes to spelling, but you know, at least I know most English words. And yeah, so I'll just delete them straight away. And then anything that looks really legit, then I'll have a look at it. And then sometimes you get these emails where they go, like, they'll say to you, this is an email that's gone out to a lot of people who we think will fit our, and then they'll ask a series of questions. Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do this? I don't mind those ones, because at least they're asking questions to see if you're a right fit, because sometimes you can go to a channel and it may seem like they're a right fit, but then it's not. That's my thinking on that one. So yeah, so I get often I'll have a look at those, I'll answer their survey and all that sort of stuff, or answer their questions, and then I'll flick back an email and have a series of questions for them, and then I either hear from them or I don't. But yeah, like, and it all takes a lot of time away from the day. But as I was saying, now what I do is I sort of filter it myself, and then you know, because you don't want to, like, it may not be the right time for you to collab with a company right now, but who's not to say in 6 months time you're in a better position to collab with them. So yeah, so that's my, because like I want to give an honest review. I want to be using the products before I say I'm using the products. I don't want to lie, because then that's just going to create distrust with my subscribers and whatnot. And like, you'll hear me in videos, this is a product that I use all the time. I'm not affiliated with that, it's just a product that I use. It's a damn good product, and that's why I use it, because I'm not going to waste my money on a product that is inferior. So yeah, so basically, so there's that. And then, you know, I've got questions and emails, lovely emails that I get from my subscribers, and so I would like to, you know, pay them more time than I do companies and stuff like that. Am I leaving money on the table? Probably, but at this point in time I just don't feel comfortable with it. I will eventually probably do, you know, some review videos and stuff like that. If I find a really good product, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to review it. Isn't it funny? Like, I look at my stitches and as I'm stitching, and I think they look absolutely atrocious. And I just noticed I missed 4 stitches over here. But then you go, but you walk away from it and then you come back, and it just seems to have neatened itself up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, like I know I'm doing okay, but like sometimes I look at white and I just go, ugh, it looks terrible. I get very frustrated with white. Alright. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, why did I decide to do this one? I don't like stitching with white, and yet here I am stitching all this white. But I have learnt my lesson. If I do go for another one that has a lot of snow and stuff in it, I will be sorry, I just thought someone was at the door then. It was a bird. I will be using 12 weight, and I probably will stitch on 18 count Ada as opposed to 16 count. Like, this is what I had in my stash, and this looks absolutely beautiful. But I've got another one that I'm doing that it has a little bit of white, but not a great deal. I've already started that, so I'm going to do a little bit of stitching with the white in 12 weight and see if it looks good on the 16 count. If it doesn't, then yeah, I just know that I'll have to do my future snowy ones, because I do like the snow scenes. I know that I live in Australia and all the rest of it, but I think I'm fascinated with snow because anything with snow on it and like traditional Northern Hemisphere type stitching, because the simple fact is I've never seen snow. I'll probably hate every minute of it, because the simple fact is I hate the cold, and where there's snow it's cold. So yeah, so I don't, yeah, but I just love it. I don't know, I just love the look of it, the coziness of it, and all that. Like, yeah, I'm a bit of a contradiction, just a little bit. Oh look, my neighbours are home. You can hear them thumping up the road. Then they'll sit in their car. Oh no, no, they turned it off. Oh my gosh. Is it possible that we have new neighbours that have respect? Oh my goodness, what is going on? Yeah, so anyway, just my sarcasm. So yeah, I think that's my plan next time, and I must admit, like, it does not look as washed out as it was looking for the last couple of weeks. So I'm just going to stick here with my Stitch with Me's, and today is not so bad. It's not my back is not hurting as much as it normally does, but when I'm crouching over. So obviously I've got it in a good position. So now I'm just going to leave it in this position, and then hopefully it'll be fine for the next ones. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, I just didn't like the look of the on camera. It just looked very washed out. And right now I've got my studio light to the side of me, and I've got my little day, well, I don't even think it's a day lamp, it's just a lamp with a magnifier in it, and I've got that above me, and I think that that's giving it really good light, and I can see a lot clearer up here, because where I was sitting was quite dark, and so that makes it really difficult. Alrighty then, I am going to call it a day, because Brennan is ringing me again. When I sit here and I can see the phone ringing at me, that he must need me to go and do something. See, anyway, oh, he must need to meet up with me, because he wanted me to go to the bank for him on that. So yeah, that's what that's about. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to finish up for today. If you have made it this far, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me an emoji in the comments. You don't have to leave me a comment. I'd love you to leave a comment if you're new here. Let me know where you're watching from. But if you don't want to leave a comment, leave me an emoji of a tree in the comments, and that way I know you've made it this far. That'd be great. Don't forget, if you have yet to subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well and set it to all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any future posts. Again, thank you very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for joining me and leaving me comments, giving me thumbs up, and also your subscription. And as always, have a fabulous day, get lots of stitching in, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Bye for now.